They say money can't buy happiness, but it can sure expose betrayal. And right now, Jim Jones is living through the biggest scandal of his career. The Harlem rap legend has accused the one woman he stood by for decades, Chrissy Lampkin, of being at the center of a jaw-dropping money mystery. $10 million, gone without a trace. And to make matters even worse, viral footage has surfaced that could change everything. The internet caught fire when grainy but damning clips began circulating, shaky phone footage that allegedly shows Chrissy handling stacks of cash, whispering lines that sent chills through fans everywhere. He'll never see it coming. Within hours, the video spread like wildfire across Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram. Fans were shocked. Blogs went into meltdown. Was Chrissy really behind the missing millions? Or was Jim being set up in the most brutal way possible? For days, Jim stayed silent, fueling even more speculation. But now, he's speaking out and his words are dripping with pain, rage, and betrayal. In a voice memo that leaked online, Jim can be heard saying, "I built an empire. I put food on tables. And if the woman I trusted the most took that from me, then what do I even have left?" This isn't just about love. This isn't just about money. This is about power, betrayal, and the unraveling of one of hip-hop's most iconic couples. With the whole world watching, the night the footage dropped, the internet went into full meltdown. It wasn't polished, it wasn't high definition, but that's what made it more believable. A dimly lit room, stacks of $100 bills piled on a glass table, and a woman with Chrissy Lampkin's signature long hair and unmistakable voice whispering, "He'll never see it coming." The clip lasted less than 20 seconds, but it was enough to send shockwaves through hip-hop at first. Some fans brushed it off as fake. "That ain't Chrissy. Y'all will believe anything," one Twitter user posted. But within hours, accounts with millions of followers were reposting the footage, claiming insiders had confirmed its authenticity. Hashtags like #ChrissyExposed and #JimJones10 million trended worldwide. TikTok detectives slowed the video frame by frame, comparing Chrissy's jewelry, her nails, even the way she moved her hands to past clips from Love and Hip Hop. The consensus: too many similarities to ignore. By morning, Jim Jones's name was everywhere. Blogs speculated about where the $10 million came from, rumors swirled about business deals gone wrong, unpaid taxes, and music industry advances. But the one detail that wouldn't go away was Chrissy's alleged role. Fans couldn't believe the woman who had stood by Jim through label disputes, TV drama, and public breakups could be the same woman pocketing millions behind his back for nearly 24 hours. Jim stayed quiet. That silence only fueled the chaos. Some fans begged him not to confirm the rumors, others demanded answers. And memes flooded Instagram photos of Jim looking shocked with captions like, "When Bey runs off with 10 mil, it was brutal. Then came the eruption. Late that night." Jim finally broke his silence on Instagram Live, sitting alone in a dark room, chain glinting under the glow of his phone screen. His voice was raw, angry, and unfiltered. "You really think I ain't see that video?" He started pacing back and forth. 10 million don't just vanish. 10 million don't just disappear into thin air. Somebody took that and y'all saw who it was. Don't play with me. Fans watching the live flooded the comments with fire emojis and crying face reactions. His tone shifted from rage to heartbreak as he spoke directly into the camera. "Chrissy, if that's really you in that footage, then everything we built, everything I stood for, was a lie. You were supposed to be my rib, my rider, my everything. And you've gone do me like this? Behind closed doors?" His voice cracked, and for a moment, the rage turned into visible pain. The clip of Jim's live was reposted instantly. Within minutes, Jim's reaction was immediate and volcanic. He posted a black and white selfie to Instagram, his eyes bloodshot. His caption short but brutal, 10 million reasons not to trust nobody. Within minutes, the post racked up hundreds of thousands of likes and thousands of comments. Fans rallying behind him demanding answers, and speculating about the couple's next move. But the drama wasn't confined to social media. On Love and Hip Hop, producers couldn't ignore the storm. Cameras captured Jim storming into a meeting with castmates, slamming his hand on the table. Y'all seen the footage? Y'all heard the audio? Tell me I'm not crazy. His voice was ragged, equal parts rage and heartbreak. Some tried to calm him down, but others whispered among themselves, their silence speaking volumes. Chrissy, finally forced to face the cameras, appeared with red eyes and tense body language. For the first time since the scandal broke, she spoke. They're out here trying to paint me as a thief, she snapped. $10 million. Do y'all hear yourselves? Jim knows me better than anybody. He should know I would never do that to him. But the denial didn't land the way she hoped. Fans dissected her body language, accusing her of being defensive, of dodging the truth. Blogs posted side-by-side clips of her denial and the viral footage, captioning it, "Something ain't adding up." The tension between Jim and Chrissy boiled over in one unforgettable scene. Sitting across from each other, cameras rolling, Jim stared at her with eyes full of fury and pain. So what? I'm supposed to believe all this is fake? That footage? Those transfers? That voice on the tape? His voice trembled. You think I'm stupid? Chrissy fired back, her voice rising. I've held you down for years. Through everything. You think I'm risking all that for some money? Y'all letting these blogs run your relationship now? She slammed her fist on the table, her tears mixing with anger. But Jim wasn't moved. It ain't just blogs when the whole world sees it, he muttered, shaking his head. I can't ignore what's right in front of me. That exchange alone lit up social media. Clips from the episode went viral instantly. Fans took sides, some defending Chrissy, others calling her guilty. Memes flooded Twitter, showing Jim with the caption, "Trust issues level 10 million." Meanwhile, Chrissy was dragged with hashtags, like hashtag Chrissy Scammer and hashtag Bag Lady trending. And then came the twist nobody expected. An anonymous source leaked alleged emails between Chrissy and a mysterious business partner. The emails, stamped months before the money went missing, discussed moving assets quietly and keeping things under wraps until the right moment. The final line in one email, "Don't worry, he'll never know." The internet went insane. She'd been planning this? One fan wrote, "This wasn't no accident. This was a setup." YouTube gossip channels ran hour-long breakdowns, comparing fonts, timestamps, and writing styles, arguing whether the emails were authentic. But regardless of authenticity, the narrative grew. Chrissy Lampkin had masterminded the disappearance of $10 million. Jim's frustration reached a breaking point. In a chilling Instagram story, he wrote, "If I can't trust the woman in my bed, I can't trust nobody." Fans flooded the comments with prayers, heartbreak emojis, and speculation that the couple's relationship had reached the point of no return. Meanwhile, celebrities continued to chime in. 50 Cent doubled down with another jab, posting, "Told y'all love and money don't mix. Ask Jimmy." The post went viral, sparking debates about loyalty, fame, and the dangers of mixing romance with business. Other stars urged Jim to stay strong, with Fat Joe reportedly calling him privately to offer support. Chrissy, still silent on social media, faced mounting pressure. Blogs claimed she was planning a telecall interview to clear her name. Insiders whispered that producers were pushing her to reveal her side of the story on camera. But she allegedly resisted, fearing it would make things worse. Behind the scenes, though, sources claimed Jim had begun pulling back. Rumors swirled that he was moving money into separate accounts, quietly distancing his business ventures from Chrissy's name. One insider put it bluntly, "Jim still loves her, but he doesn't trust her anymore." That's worse than hate. Fans began speculating about the future of their relationship. Could they survive this storm? Or was this the scandal that would finally tear Jim and Chrissy apart for good? Theories flooded Twitter threads, Instagram reels, and TikTok breakdowns. One viral TikTok said it best, "If the love story we watched for a decade ends over this, it's gonna break the internet." But the biggest twist was still to come. Because just as Jim began taking steps to protect himself, a second viral clip surfaced, longer, clearer, and more damning than the first. The footage showed a woman, again resembling Chrissy, sitting at a table stacked with cash. But this time, the camera caught her face more directly. She laughed, sliding bundles into a bag, and said, "10 million reasons to keep this between us." The clip ended abruptly, but the damage was irreversible. The internet erupted. Twitter threads screamed, "It's her, 100%. Instagram comments filled with snake emojis. TikTok detectives declared the case closed. And Jim. Insiders say he watched the clip in stunned silence before whispering, "It's over." The second viral clip left no room for denial in the court of public opinion. The image was clearer, the words more damning, and the backlash more ruthless than anything Chrissy Lampkin had faced before. By sunrise, her name trended across every platform, drowning in snake emojis, betrayal memes, and fiery debates. The love story fans had rooted for since love and hip-hop's earliest days had transformed into a modern tragedy. Jim Jones, usually calculated with his words, finally reached his breaking point. At a listening party for his upcoming mixtape, surrounded by cameras and flashing lights, he addressed the scandal head-on. His voice cracked as he spoke. "I've been loyal for decades. I built a family, a legacy, and a brand. If the woman by my side chose to rob me, then I was never loved in the first place." The crowd gasped, phones shot into the air, and within minutes the clip went viral. Jim's raw pain turned into a rallying cry for fans who felt betrayed in their own relationships. One tweet summed it up. "Jim ain't just speaking for himself. He speaks for everyone who ever trusted the wrong one." But Chrissy wasn't about to let the narrative bury her alive. Days later, she broke her silence with an emotional Instagram Live. Tears streamed down her face as she pleaded her case. "They are trying to destroy me. That video, that audio, all fake. AI, deepfakes, edited receipts. Jim knows me. He knows me. $10 million. I would never touch a dime that wasn't mine." The comments section exploded, half fans showing sympathy, half tearing her apart. "She's acting." One wrote. Another said, "This broke my heart. If she lies, she deserves an Oscar." But as Chrissy poured her heart out, another blow landed. A gossip site released alleged flight records tying her to a trip to Miami the same weekend the money disappeared. The document suggested she traveled with someone the blogs labeled as a business partner. Even worse, hotel surveillance images surfaced, showing a woman matching Chrissy's look walking into a suite with large bags. The puzzle pieces started connecting in a way too damning to ignore. Jim, blindsided again, lashed out in another post. This time it was colder, sharper, and final. "Love doesn't excuse betrayal. Ain't no family when trust is dead." Fans interpreted it as confirmation that their relationship was done. Memes flooded in side-by-side photos of Jim and Chrissy from happier times, captioned with, "From ride or die to rob and lie." The industry itself began to fracture around them. Some celebrities defended Chrissy, warning against believing fake evidence in the age of AI. Others sided with Jim. Posting cryptic quotes about loyalty and betrayal. Fat Joe dropped a comment. "10 mil ain't no joke. Pray for my brother." Remy Ma wrote, "Trust is everything. Once it's gone, it's gone." And then came the betrayal that twisted the knife even deeper. A leaked phone call between two insiders, allegedly part of Jim's own circle, hinted that someone close to him might have set up the scandal. "Think about it," one voice said. "The footage, the leaks, the timing. It's too perfect." Somebody wanted Chrissy gone. Somebody wanted Jim to lose trust in her. The idea of a setup turned the scandal upside down. Fans who had already crucified Chrissy began to wonder if she had been framed. Twitter debates reignited. What if Chrissy was innocent and someone planted all this? Others pushed back. "Nah, too many receipts. She is guilty." The war of opinions tore through timelines, fueling the fire instead of calming it. Caught in the storm, Jim retreated from the public eye. Insiders claimed he was cutting business ties, locking down accounts, and refusing to take calls even from close friends. He's paranoid now, one source whispered. He doesn't trust anybody. Meanwhile, Chrissy doubled down, promising to release her own real receipts that would clear her name. She teased screenshots of conversations with alleged hackers who admitted to doctoring clips. Fans begged her to drop the full files, but she held back, posting, "Timing is everything. Y'all gonna see the truth." The tension reached its peak when cameras captured Jim and Chrissy in the same room again for what producers billed as the most explosive sit-down in love. And hiphophistory.Jim sat stiffly, arms crossed, eyes cold. Chrissy leaned forward, her voice trembling. "You gonna let 10 million break us after everything we've been through? After everything we've been through?" Jim stared back, his silence louder than words. Finally, he spoke. 10 million didn't break us. You did." The silence that followed was deafening. Producers cut the scene with a teaser. Next week, the truth surfaces. The cliffhanger sent fans into overdrive. What is the truth? Would Chrissy's real receipts exonerate her? Or would the final nail in the coffin confirm Jim's worst fears? Blogs speculated endlessly. Some said FBI investigations were underway. Others claimed more footage would surface. One gossip site even teased that the missing millions weren't gone at all, that they'd been hidden in offshore accounts, waiting for the right moment to be exposed. And as the credits rolled, the internet knew one thing for sure. This wasn't just another love and hip-hop scandal. This was a saga that could end careers, destroy legacies, and forever change the way fans looked at Jim Jones and Chrissy Lampkin. Because when $10 million vanishes, love alone can't save you. And there you have it, what started as whispers about whispers. Missing money has exploded into a scandal, rocking Harlem Dipset and the entire hip-hop world. Jim Jones is pointing fingers, Chrissy Lampkin is fighting for her name, and the internet is caught in the middle, dissecting every clip, every receipt, every second of viral footage. $10 million gone, loyalty shattered, and a love story on life support. But here's the million-dollar question, or should we say the $10 million question? Did Chrissy really mastermind this betrayal? Or is she the victim of the most savage setup in reality TV history? Were those recordings genuine, or the work of someone desperate to tear Jim and Chrissy apart? And if the money is sitting in offshore accounts like some insiders whisper, then who else is pulling the strings behind the scenes? This is bigger than just a couple's drama. This is about trust, power, and survival in a world where receipts drop faster than apologies. And right now, the next move could make or break everything. So now it's your turn. Do you believe Chrissy is guilty as charged? Or do you think Jim is being played by forces even closer than he realizes? Drop your theories in the comments right now, because your take might just be the one that cracks this case wide open. And don't just watch from the sidelines. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell. Because when the next set of receipts leak, and trust me, they will, you don't want to be the last one to know. Stay tuned, because this $10 million storm is far from over.